Hi Taurus, welcome to your weekly forecast from March 8th through the 14th. This is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you happen to stumble upon this video outside of the date I mentioned, don't you worry your pretty little head, my darlings. You came upon the video whenever you were meant to, whenever you were ready for the messages. Keep in mind this is a general reading for the collective, so not every single message will resonate, but take the ones that do and leave the rest. So without further ado, my darling Taurus friends, let's see what's going on for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Alright, my dears, let's go ahead and see. Alright, so the first card you have coming up is the Chariot. And this can be moving on, like you're done. You are ready to move on, to move forward in a new direction, embracing independence. The thing about the Chariot card, there's no co-pilot with the Chariot. The Chariot is in control and on their own. So and traveling light. So some of you might be in the energy where you're just kind of clearing away a lot of things. You might be kind of gravitating towards minimalism. You might be getting rid of things that you haven't used in a while, either donating them, or if they're broken, giving them like throwing them out, or giving things away. But just coming into the energy of just shaking off unnecessary stuff, unnecessary burdens, unwanted items, and unneeded drama, unnecessary drama, right? You may be just completely and totally unpacking the old baggage and realizing you don't have to carry it around anymore. Chariot card can also indicate a lot of the times that it's time to move in a new direction, and we need to make a decision. We need to make up our minds. Taurus, you might be in the energy where you're like, okay God, okay universe, give me a sign, show me what I'm supposed to do. And the Chariot card, keep in mind it's a major arcana card, and the major arcana cards come up when we're at a significant crossroads. We're coming into a very significant defining chapter in our life, some life lesson, something we came here to learn. And I see the Chariot card come up a lot of the times when it's a life lesson here in free choice. Like you have a decision. The universe is not going to dictate everything to you. God, higher power, is not going to dictate every single aspect of your life to you. So you're in a free will choice. You're in a free will decision. So you're like, all right, angels, help me here, help me here. And they're like, okay, we're here, we're ready to help you, but you need to tell us what direction you want to go in, and we will help you, right? But you need to make the decision. You need to decide. There might not be a sign that's going to come and fall into place and say, hey, Taurus, this is what you're supposed to do, because you're in a free will decision period right now. You're in a free will lesson here. There's a saying by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and every time I see the Chariot card, it makes me think of it. Not a saying, but a quote. Okay? So that quote is, once we make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. And that's the energy here with the Chariot card. Okay, you might want to think about, what do you want? And some of you might be really in the strong energy of relocating, because one of the meanings of the Chariot card is seeking sanctuary, right? Seeking sanctuary, or getting to a sanctuary city. Back in the day, what that meant, I know today, right now, sanctuary city, especially in the United States, has a different, very specific definition. But back in the day, what that meant was that, say you made a mistake, you committed a crime, or you messed up in a big way, and there were people that were after you, there were certain cities that were known as sanctuary cities. So if you could get to that city, they couldn't touch you. They couldn't extradite you. They couldn't come back and get you. They had to let you stay there. And, as long as in that period of time, that statute of limitations time, you stayed in that sanctuary city, and you were a good person, and you lived a good life, you were a constructive person, you were a beneficial, productive member of society. Once the time period passed, you could go back home if you wanted to. You didn't have to, but you could if you wanted to. And they couldn't touch you. They couldn't do anything to you. So maybe some of you are feeling like you're seeking sanctuary away from the past, or the burdens of the past, where you're just wanting to get a fresh start, or you're just in an environment where you're around people that make it seem like every little dang thing is your fault. Like you might feel like, whoa, there's way too much judgment here, there's way too much pressure here. So you may be feeling the need to put physical distance between yourself and others. And you may feel like the only way you can do that is to go somewhere kind of sort of far away. And so some of you might be thinking about getting a fresh start here with this sanctuary, with this Chariot card. Your next card is the Hierophant. Taurus, this is good. This is juicy. And I'll tell you why, and not why you're thinking. I know some of you are looking at this thinking, I'm gonna get married because the Hierophant is here. Some of you might be getting married because the Hierophant is here. Some of you may be manifesting that. But if you're familiar with my channel, I don't focus on love and relationships in the weekly forecast. We look at the cards in the weekly forecast and all other aspects. If you're looking for love and romance, those videos are linked in the description. If you want to check out the March love readings after, feel free to do so. There could be an element here of some of you relocating for a relationship, to take a relationship to the next level, commitment, or being drawn to a place and where you're going to meet somebody. That could be an aspect for some of you. But going more deeply here, I really was very excited to see this card come up for you, because for me in my readings, when I'm reading for somebody and the major arcana card for their sign comes up, this tells me this is like a massively powerful moment for you. This is a time that you're really stepping into who you are, like who you truly, truly are, coming into your authenticity, coming into your power, falling in love with yourself in a non-narcissistic kind of way, but rather in a healthy way, right? Confidence, a healthy sense of entitlement, a healthy sense of, who you are, and taking ownership over your life, and not giving a single care, not a single darn about how other people are thinking about how you're living your life or the decisions that you're making. Okay, you're just fully, completely, and totally going by what feels right to you in your spirit, in your heart, in your soul, and you're confident about it. You're not second guessing yourself, right? And you're not worried so much about what other people are thinking about what you're doing. That candle just went out, confirmation here. Hierophant card can also indicate that some of you are feeling the need to go somewhere or travel somewhere or relocate somewhere where that area is more aligned with your beliefs, with what you think, with your principles, your priorities, your ethics. Okay, you're taking steps that your life is more aligned with what your beliefs are, and on a like soul level at your core. Your next card here, my darlings, is the King of Cups, right? Again, some of you are like, I knew I was getting married, because we have the King of Cups here, and the King of Cups can be seen as marriage and husband and all that good stuff. But King of Cups is also a card about success, right? Success, abundance. And the beautiful thing about King of Cups is that King of Cups can be very generous and very loving and very giving, but very cautious at the same time, right? The King of Cups is nobody's fool. And so some of you may have very recently had a life lesson over the past couple of weeks, where you found yourself in a situation where someone was really trying to milk you, really trying to get a lot out of you. And you're like, wait a minute, hold on. Maybe you even heard me say it in the videos, and maybe that amethyst voice came up in your head. I've said this in the past. If you never want to get taken advantage of ever again, the way that you can protect yourself is to only give to the situation or to the person as much as they are giving to you, right? Sometimes we feel like, okay, well, maybe I can move this along, or maybe I can demonstrate my value, or maybe I can prove myself and they'll come around. No. Right? Only put into the situation however much you're being given. And if you do that, you're never going to give more and you're never going to get taken advantage of. And so the King of Cups is that kind of energy. He can be very helpful. He can be very generous. He may even choose to be generous at times that he knows that that person is not going to repay the generosity or even fully appreciate the generosity, but he may decide, you know what? I'm going to let them have that, right? I'm going to put that freebie out there. But overall, he's not going to overgive. He's not going to overhelp. He is very good a judge of character and makes, very good judgments about when it's a good time to give and when it's a good time to withhold. And so, Taurus, a lot of you are coming into this energy at this time, right? Some of you are taking your cup away from a person or situation, right? You're like, I got way too many goodies here and I gotta go somewhere where people can't be grabbing at all these goodies all the time, whether it's physical, spiritual, emotional, financial, whatever it might be, all of the above for some of you, right? You're creating some distance, and so that you're not being as accessible. Maybe you were way too accessible. Maybe you were one of those people that every time you got that text message or phone call, you would respond right away, right? Or they needed something and you were busy, but you were like, you know what, let me be there for this person. I'll put my stuff on the back burner. I'll come back to it later. Let me drop everything and go and help them. You're like, nope, not going to happen. And some of you are creating physical distance between yourself and others because of the fact that you're feeling like there's just way too much distraction here. I have things I need to do. I have things that I'm working on. I have goals I'm trying to meet, but my environment is not allowing me to do it, right? So some of you are seeking out a new environment or just overall being withholding in a way that you're able to protect yourself. Some of you can't get away geographically just yet, and that's okay. That's fine. Don't stress out. Don't freak out. Don't feel discouraged. You are energetically creating the distance right now. You are energetically creating that boundary. We can't leave a situation physically until we have left it emotionally and mentally. And we can't leave it emotionally and mentally until we've healed from it and until we've been in that healthy sense of entitlement and creating our little energetic bubble. Okay? So know that you're well on your way to manifesting that bigger separation down the road. Your next card here, Taurus, is the Page of Cups, right? So Page of Cups can indicate issues dealing with children for some of you. So maybe some of you are having to set a healthy boundary with your kids. I kind of get nervous when I say this, and I just want to say this as a disclaimer. A similar message came up in the past in one of the YouTube videos, and someone commented about how sick and tired they were. Like this was a good confirmation for them because they were sick and tired of their 2-year-old and 4-year-old taking them for granted and taking advantage, and they were done with it. Okay, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old is not trying to manipulate you. A 2-year-old and a 4-year-old is not trying to take advantage of a situation. Children that young are just needy, okay? So this is not about being mean to little kids. This is not about showing tough love to little kids. That is not what I'm saying. When I say there can be an issue involving one of your kids, I'm talking about 18, 19, 20 years old, right? And they might still be milking a situation or putting a lot of pressure on you, right? Or they may be 13 or 14 or 15 years old and they might be old enough to help out more around the house instead of you doing everything. I'm talking about healthy boundaries in that way, right? 2-year-olds, 4-year-olds don't understand boundaries. They're not supposed to, okay? Like they're learning that over time, right? Their little brains aren't ready yet to figure that out. So I just want to put that out there. Little children are not trying to push your buttons. Or being ungrateful. They don't realize that. So I just want to say that when we talk about issues with children, we're talking about where they're old enough to be able to do more, right? Where you're like, well, you know, don't take advantage of my generosity, right? That's the one thing about King of Cups. He can be very generous, but there might be certain expectations. All right, I'll give you allowance for the week, or I'll let you borrow the car, but you need to make sure you have all your homework done. You need to make sure that you've done your chores for the week. You need to make sure that you're gonna, you know, wash the car and clean it and put gas back in the tank when you bring it back. So all that kind of thing. Like, I will be generous to you, but there are certain certain generosities are privileges that are going to be earned. So some of you are kind of helping children, more grown children, older children, learn how to earn certain privileges. Page of Cups for me overall, though, is the energy here of the heart chakra opening up. Okay, so as a lot of you are coming into your ethics, your priorities, your beliefs, disconnecting, disengaging from a negative situation, being protective of your resources and energy, you're coming into a time of calling in. You're coming into a time of receiving abundance, receiving joy, receiving positive experiences, and that can be exhausting. That can be a little bit overwhelming. Page of Cups for me is that heart chakra opening up, and the process of receiving, even though it's a positive thing, it can leave us feeling kind of like anxiety or anxious about it. Do I deserve it? How long is this gonna last? Is this gonna dry up? And Page of Cups just says, look, you know, little bit at a time, allow yourself to receive. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a break. Don't push things away. Don't say, oh, never mind, this can't be good, it's too good to be true. But just try to be playful. Try to be in a lighthearted energy about it. Okay? Some of you are manifesting new friendships, new relationships, and maybe before you were like, well, where is this gonna go, and are they gonna have my back? And you don't even worry about that anymore because you're in this sense of security, and you can just enjoy people how they are and not have to worry about, you know, the whole dynamic about, well, I don't want to get taken advantage of, right? Because you already have a more natural flow of those boundaries. Okay, be sure to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those are going to resonate with you more than others. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you want to go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. I will also have the link in the description. And those of you who want more love and romance juiciness, be sure to check out the March love readings. Those are linked in the description as well. Thanks for watching, Taurus. Bye.